What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. So unless you've been living under a rock for the past 10 years, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what The Hunger Games is, but just in case you need a little bit of a refresher, this is a post-apocalyptic story set in what once was North America. The world has kind of been split up into 12 districts, it used to be 13, but we'll learn about that later, and it is ruled by a ruthless capital. As a punishment for once rebelling against the capital, now each district every year must send 2 kids between the ages of 12 and 18 to compete in what is known as the Hunger Games, and only one will survive. So in this book, we are following the events of Katniss after she volunteers for the games and what happens afterward. And I remember when these books first came out because kids in my school were already reading it, like they were reading it for a class. It wasn't my class, but one of the classes was reading it. So I was always aware of these books, but it wasn't until the movie came out that I decided that I really wanted to read these. I was really interested in it, and it was just something that I wanted to check out. I absolutely adored The Hunger Games in high school. It was just one of those series that I just really, really loved. I loved that. I loved Twilight. I loved Divergent. You know, I was that kind of person, but I wasn't super into the movies. They weren't really the best, and I will say that as time has gone on, I really did forget just how good the books were because all I could call to mind when I thought about them were the movies. So I was really excited to revisit this, especially because Suzanne Collins said that she's going to be writing more books within this universe. And right off the bat, I was already just immediately immersed, and I was immediately, my first thought was, wow, I forgot how good these books are, because you're just sucked into the world immediately, and I feel like you really latch on to Katniss and you really get a good idea of who Katniss is. I remember in the later books, like, they really do suffer from sequelitis because Katniss goes through a lot of things. She does get a little bit whiny, but I'm wondering now that I'm older if maybe I'll have a different viewing of that, because I already do in this first book. I already see Katniss in a much different light, and I see her as somebody who is a survivor, and she may think that on the surface she doesn't really care about anybody else. She actually has a lot of compassion for other people, and if she deems you to be loyal, she will do anything in order to keep you safe, and that's what gets her launched into the Hunger Games. Seeing her sister Prim being chosen to be in the Hunger Games, she just can't let that stand, so of course she's going to volunteer, and of course once she's in the games, she's going to find that making relationships with other tributes is largely a bad idea since only one of them can survive. I will say that I was always a Team Gale growing up. You kind of had to be a team. Like, it didn't really matter who you wanted Katniss to end up with or if you wanted her to end up with anybody. You had to be a team. And I didn't like Peeta. I didn't know why I didn't like Peeta. And reading this book, I have since discovered that that is my hot take. I still can't stand Peeta. If you want to know a little bit more about that, I am making a video about it for Thursday, but overall I am giving this book an A-. It's just so unbelievably well done, and I think the world is really amazing. Now we look at it as kind of like cliches because it did launch this like YA movie movement, because then we got The Maze Runner, we got Divergent, which like totally failed, and like all of this kind of other stuff. But the thing that Suzanne Collins did, the way that she created this world, is just really, really fascinating. So I'm excited to be going forward and rereading this series, because I really do remember like almost nothing from Catching Fire and Mockingjay. All I remember is that I was disappointed in the ending. So I'm really excited to see what I think of it now. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!